For those that were asking me, can you start from relaxer? You can definitely start from a relaxer, but I want to show you one of the causes and effects of that. Because the two different hair textures are, because the two have now two different hair textures, what's going to happen at this point is this. You will see how some of the ends will be really straight because of what the relaxer does. In this process, it takes away some of the enamel bonds and keratin bonds, in which relaxes the hair out, hence the name relaxer. But as the natural hair grows in, it grows in a thicker, more natural state, and so you have a different effect. You have more of a thicker hair, as you can see here, versus the thinner hairs that the relaxer brings out. So you can, any hair will lock, but you have to be careful with how you lock it and what you're using. Just throwing in certain products aren't going to work, and just putting in any kind of hair, especially if the hair is damaged, if it's unhealthy, if it's unstable, if it has a nutrients imbalance, or different things like that, is not going to give you the same effect always down the line. So you want to be knowledgeable on that, especially stylists rendering service to a customer. You want to be able to keep that customer in 100% satisfaction mode, or the customer may not understand what's going on. They will begin to shift from chair to chair. If you're not giving a definite explanation of what you're doing, they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel satisfied, and they don't feel like you understand what you're supposed to be doing. But they do understand you took their money. They understand that much. And so as a professional cosmetologist, you just are one in town, want to learn what's best, and sitting someone down says, okay, give me that money, and having that attitude isn't going to take you as far as you want to. Also having what I've thought of as a one track mind to certain things. You just want to learn this part of it, or you're going to just understand that part of it and not really get the full 100% education of it. It's not going to bring you to a place where you need to be either. You won't come out being beneficial for yourself, just shortcutting it and doing different things that you want to do. So go ahead and make that process beneficial for you and everybody else, and go ahead and process what's necessary and do what you have to do. In this hair, we always talk about before, we shampoo, we cleanse every 3 weeks to make sure that we do the proper maintenance. You don't want to do too much twisting to the hair, or do just pulling, snatching, or too many things to the scalp. All the hair will fall out. It's just fabric. So associating a good balance, a good regimen according to your lifestyle will always be a positive level of hairstyling, locking, or whatever you choose to do, versus just throwing something out there. A number of people have been asking me the same question on the same level, but there have been pretty damaging questions, pretty negative questions pertaining to like your aspect of life, your livelihood, the things you do, and the regimens you take along with those things for your hair. And a lot of times it's not working for you. Like this guy, he says, what can I do to help with the smell? I've had my dress for almost 4 months. Almost all of the tips are locked. I can't wash them in the shower yet. I get them dried with herbal cleanse about every 2 weeks when I get them retwisted. And I run 4 miles every single day. I also use the mango and lime incense spray. What you told me was, you got layers and layers and layers of dirt. Why? The herbal cleanse was just a chemical to say, okay, yeah, you got things out, but if there's no rinse, if there's no go through proper really cleanse, then there's no cleanse. I'm so sorry. There's really no proper cleanse going on at this point in time. Then you added oil on top of the sweat from your 4-mile run daily. Then you come back with an incense spray. That is a lot of things to put on the hair, and of course you're going to have a smell, of course you're going to have issues, of course you're going to begin to have irritation. And when you scratch your hair, I'm sure, and this sounds nasty, but I'm sure under your fingernails you see the results of why your scalp and your hair smells the way it does. My people, you have to shampoo. You have to shampoo from day one. I know that it may take a while to start your locking process. That's why I say you can't start it with short hair. If you started with at least 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches of hair, you'll be able to shampoo that hair, because that hair will by that time start the tangle format. It will be long enough to catch on to itself. If it's too short, it is going to cut out and the process is going to be eliminated, whether you shampoo it or not. Because while you're not shampooing, only thing you're doing is allowing the hair to grow, and as it grows, that's when it starts its tangle format. So this whole process of you that you just went through was for nothing, because you basically waited for the hair to grow, which you would have had to do anyway. So go ahead and start from 3 inches instead of doing yourself and your friends and your boyfriends and folks in life on that level. That, like, you really shouldn't do it. Another lady asked me something about, let me pull it up, about the things she's put in her hair and what she has done for years. Okay, now I want you to take a mindset that this has been done on a yearly standpoint, not just today. Okay, she uses the braid sheen for the scalp. A braid sheen, which is not an oil, it is a chemical, just like a wig spray, just like a wig sheen. So you can't just use just certain things that you want just to put in the head and just say, okay, that works. I'm sorry, but that's not an oil, so you're not getting your level of moisturization. And you're twisting the new growth with an olive oil gel. You wash and condition weekly. That's a lot of shampooing. You also, depending on what shampoos that you're using, can be robbing the hair of certain levels of moisturization, and certain shampoos may not put it back into the hair. Certain conditioners may not do the same thing, and depending on how your scalp and your hair has an intake or porosity level, it may not take certain things from certain conditioners. So that's why I love the fact that they have different variations, but Design Essentials Stimulations, I have to promote them strongly on this. This is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful conditioner. Also, the Express. These two conditioners I have seen take a person from brittle straight back into like 80% healthy. That is wonderful to me. That means this product has really been made and marketed to work. Okay, so using the gel on top of shampooing and conditioning weekly and the braid sheen is going to have a major effect on your hair and scalp. It's going to be dry, no oxygen, and your scalp is going to take a major effect to it, being that you're associating a lot of these things on a weekly basis. So that's sometimes saying to me, depending on how you feel, it could possibly be daily. That can make it even worse. The scalp will begin to itch. Your natural result to itching will be to scratch. My result to itching, I hear irritation. I hear a problem. I'm not just going to scratch that problem. I'm going to figure out what's going to heal my problem on a long term, not just right now. You can put those scratch marks in there and do all of that stuff, but if you're not using what's necessary and what's the best for your scalp and your hair on a good regimen, you are not going to win this thing at all. You are going to lose, and you're going to have a down the line effect that you are not going to be happy with. You're not. For those that are locking, a good regimen, shampoo that hair every 2 to 3 weeks. If you are on an athletic level and you are interlocking, shampoo the hair weekly, but make sure that you are moisturizing. Make sure that your products are very light, so they're not coating the scalp or causing irritations that will mix with the salt of your sweat and then become a chemical that you will need to rinse immediately, but because of your style method and you don't want to lose your money, you won't. So it's understood in what's going on here. You want to keep the remnants of your money and the lifestyle that you want to choose at the same time. And that's why I say associate a healthy balance. For those that have free-flowing froze, you want to go through that hair and comb it. Not with a tight comb. If you have a tight curl pattern, not with a wide tooth comb. You want to get in there with a paddle brush, something smooth and easy that's just going to slide through the hair, making sure that you condition. If your hair is brittle and you have a hard time taking your hands through, do not rake a brush or a comb through that. Make sure that hair is smooth first, and then go through with the brush and remove those hairs. You have to associate a level of common sense into it as well. So that's why I choose to train you guys to make it happen. So there are certain things you will be able to do and certain things you won't.
It has some really good
healthy set of dreadlocks that he's been growing for. How long you been growing these, Mike?
Maybe 6 years. 2 days ago.
Have you ever cut any?
No.
No, cool. Okay, well this is a good 6 years of growth. He has a full head. I don't recall us ever having to repair that much on Mike. You can come from show you pretty much how much he has. Oh, that's a lot of hair. I love that. But anyway, the regimen we use for Mike, he comes in every 3 to 4 weeks. He gets a deep, clarifying shampoo. Mike does not have an extreme workout regimen, but Mike still sweats because he has, I'm sure, over 10 pounds of hair on his head. Mike also gets a deep moisturizing shampoo along with a stimulating, massaging conditioner. All of those are very, very, very important to what Mike has going on here because of the amount of hair he has on his head, because of the process of styling that he has chosen to take on, and pretty much everything within those 2 realms of styling. This can be very harmful, having this much hair on your head, pulling on your scalp at all times, especially if you're not associating the right products. Gels, beeswax, putties, souffles, a good portion of those things, yes, they smell good. They give the hair an awesome, what you consider an awesome hold. And you know, a lot of times when you look in the mirror right after you finish, it looks good. Give it 3 days. You have flakes, you have dry scalp, you're itching, the hair is coming apart, and you feel like you should shampoo in 3 more days. Well, everything you just done was irrelevant. It made no sense. And it's pretty much going to cause irritation down the line. I choose a 3-week regimen, 2 to 3 week regimen. I feel like that's enough time for you to be snatching on the hair, twisting it for that look, and snatching it out of its level of elasticity. Just throwing things in the hair, especially if it's harmful to the hair, and you have to go right back and do it again, it's not going to work. Then you're giving the hair too much tension. So think about what's happening. Think about what's going on. Another thing that I do to Mike, we only use light products. It may look like I have a big, humongous jar, but I don't need to scoop my finger in to get a big hump heel of product just to twist one little lock. Not when you're going to sit them under the dryer and the product is going to start working for itself. Not even if you're doing braids, comb outs, twist outs, whatever you're choosing to do, you do not have to saturate that hair unless you're putting a color. I can't think of any other style. Since you saturate hair, Cheryl, what normally would you saturate some hair for?
Saturate hair? Because I know what I'm doing. What you talking about? Look, you trying to embarrass my client because I know what I'm doing, but
No, I was not.
Yes.
I wasn't trying to embarrass her. But anyway, no, there's nothing to do. Has nothing to do with you not knowing what you're doing. I said, when would you saturate a hairstyle? Like, as a stylist, what things would you put into?
Saturate. I would saturate if I'm doing, let's see, a roller set, a jerry curl, a perm.
Basically.
What?
No, I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
Basically. So, and those styles aren't natural. All of those things. What was the last one?
Ponytail. You know how you get the pro style, you put the ponytail up when your back is shaved and you still gonna wear a ponytail anyway?
Oh, one of those.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Bow head. Okay. Right. Anyway, so basically, we're not saturating the hair. We're not saturating the scalp. You don't need it. It's not that necessary. Unless you're doing something to that level. Sodium hydroxide, ammonium, all of those things, that's when you would need to get it in and make it work in. These products are going to work with the hair. The hair is only so fine. It only pretty much will take so much. It will make your process also go a lot quicker. Your dryer time is cut out because you don't have that big goop sitting on top of the scalp right there waiting for it to dry, absorb into the skin, and have down the line side effects. Not knowing if every client has allergies or maybe allergic to something, because I can guarantee you as a stylist, we all don't do the patch test as we're supposed to. So choose a regimen, make it healthy, and stop just picking up products and just trying. This might come out of the dryer. And again, you can notice that even in his edges, that he has no big edges, showing that I had to consolidate or put anything together to make his edges work because of the way we make sure that we protein conditioner, make sure we get everything that it needs to be doing on a cleansing, moisturizing level before we even get onto the twisting of the maintenance, doing a little semi hair synopsis, just making sure that everything is where it needs to be. Mike, again, for those that missed it in the prior, he comes in every 4 weeks, gets a proper conditioning, gets a proper cleansing, and a proper maintenance using the Tight Hold by Talia YG and the Lock and Curl uh, made by yours truly, in which you can also get those things off of the website, theevolutionofstyle.com, but they're very beneficial to your locking process. Even those that are natural styling, you can use those two solutions when doing twist outs, when doing braid outs, when doing pin ups, when just trying to sweep up the edges, period. So these are very light solutions that just keep the hair on longevity and versatility level. So be mindful of all of that, and that could be your outcome. Long, growing, healthy locks and natural hair. That's the process.